Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. Now today we're going to be exploring a kind of side area, revisiting a area actually, if you want to be accurate about it. But before we do that, I just wanted to wander around Firelink Shrine here because we have a few new faces to interact with. First being the source of that horrible snoring we heard a couple episodes ago. Meet King Seeker Frampt, my favorite character in the game.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening? I am the primordial serpent, King Seeker Frampt, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment? Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anor Londo and acquire the Lord Vessel. I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent? Those who seek the realm of lords must brave Sen's fortress, a deadly house of traps.
No shit.
Many have gone before you, but none have returned. Fate has chosen you, but proceed with caution.
So in addition to providing cryptic advice about your next steps in the game, King Seeker Frampt basically serves as a sort of store in Dark Souls. You can't buy things from him, but you can feed him items, and he will give you souls in return. As you can see, different items have different values. For some reason, he pays 200 souls per dung pile. And he will give quite a lot of souls for those boss souls that we've been collecting. More than you can get if you just activate them normally. And hey, that's that coin that we got from the cleric at the very beginning of the game. And that's actually what it's used for.
Farewell, chosen undead. I remain here and await thee.
So offline, I will be going and doing some selling to make sure that we don't carry around too much crap that we don't need, but I won't be subjecting you to that horrible eating noise on camera anymore. I'm sure you recall in last episode we saved a very large behatted person. Well, he was behatted with a large hat.
Hello there. I was expecting you. As promised, I will share my sorceries. I'm afraid that you are unable to learn sorcery. The basic framework, you see, it cannot be taught. Oh, do not fret. Life isn't all about sorcery. You will find your own way. Don't frown with regret. Peer forward with your head high.
Yeah, he won't teach us anything unless our intellect is high enough. So, yeah, we're just going to have to deal with casting miracles and bashing giant snakes in with our mace. Now, the first time I played through this game, I actually did not find this area at all. It's pretty cleverly hidden, in my opinion. Although, I suppose if you do a little more thorough searching around Firelink Shrine, it becomes a little more painfully obvious. So we're going to hop on this elevator, but instead of riding all the way up to the parish, we're actually going to roll right on out on top of this roof. Snake around to this kind of cliff area and do some fancy footwork. Yeah, this is the intended way of getting to this area. Kind of funny, but hey, you know, it works. I like secrets like this. So it may seem a little strange to pick up an asylum key when we've already done the asylum, and as far as we know, there's no way to go back there. But then There is a giant bird over there. And of course, this is not where I wanted to go at all. So yeah, I actually kind of forgot where I was going there for a second. I'm ignoring the painfully obvious set of stairs leading up. Anyway, if we come up here, we see a large nest, and we can just kind of snuggle up in there to feel kind of just get a little bit of rest and relaxation from all the demon murdering and Blight Town exploring we've been doing. It's nice to just kind of relax and take a load off, you know? Just, oh, great. Yeah, and here we are back at the Undead Asylum. I'm looking forward to exploring this place again because, man, we're going to just destroy the enemies that were in here before. Although I don't remember guys being out here. They give a lot more souls than I remember. Yeah, the Undead Asylum has, of course, been repopulated with some more powerful enemies upon our return. The layout really hasn't changed, so let's just quickly explore the areas that we've been to before and see what's changed. Yeah, it's kind of hard to spot at first, but that's definitely a Black Knight hanging out down there in this tiny, tiny, tiny corridor. Thanks, Dark Souls. Trying to maneuver past him, but it's just not working, so I guess we're gonna have to deal with this room, which is just dangerous with this slow-moving crap, and ugh. And what do you know? He dropped Brendan's sword of game-breaking insanity. I was pretty excited when this dropped, but as you'll soon see, I don't even come close to meeting the requirements for the item, so I will not be equipping it. Although, I'm very sorely tempted to boost up my dexterity just so I can equip this weapon, because it seems pretty crazy. From what I've heard. You also notice that guy dropped a red Titanite chunk. It's a new type of crafting item that we've picked up, and it's for crafting fire items. And hey, look, it's our old friend Oscar. He's back. Let's see if he has any. Oh god. unfortunately, Oscar has gone hollow since we last were here, and he is now attacking us. I really hate this particular fight. I think it's really depressing. He's the one who freed us initially and sent us on our quest, and now he's gone insane, and we have to put him down. But he drops a fantastic shield. The crest shield is really good for blocking magic attacks. This would have been handy in Sen's Fortress for those snake mages, and it will definitely come in handy in a later boss fight or two. And look, this trap reset. It does not reveal anything interesting inside of that room. And then we'll just continue to backtrack to our cell, see if there's anything down there, and then afterwards we'll just make our way back to the... Well, we gotta use that key. Can't forget to use the key, that's what we came here for. But after that, we'll head back to Firelink Shrine. Yeah, our cell has a new occupant, another Dark Knight, or Black Knight. This guy's a little easier to deal with because you have a slightly larger hallway in which to maneuver, but it's still not the best situation for dealing with these guys. You really like lots of open space. Luckily, a couple well-timed lightning spears makes the fight not too difficult, and before long, he's down and drops another Titanite chunk for us. And I wouldn't worry about that horrible roaring sound. It's totally nothing. The Peculiar Doll is an interesting item. We'll pull up the description here so you can take a look and see what it's all about. We'll be using it in the next area, which is actually the reason why I wanted to come here before we went onward in the game. Cold and lonely painted world. Yeah, he's just kind of hanging out in there and growling, I guess. Now, if you remember, at the very end of the hallway where I failed at parrying in the very first episode, there was a locked door, and that's where this key goes to. Alright, let's see what we got waiting down here. The Rusted Iron Ring is pretty much one of the better rings in the game for environmental purposes. It allows you to walk at normal speed when you're in waist-deep water instead of being slowed down. It's particularly useful for Blighttown, where the evil swamp causes you to be slow and get poisoned. So it's actually pretty highly recommended that you come here and pick that up beforehand, especially if you're having a hard time with that stuff. I never found the Blighttown swamp to be that much of a hindrance, but there are several areas where some deep water can really slow you down, so that can be handy to have. So we're going to actually go human and kindle this bonfire. And I was actually intending to see if I could do a summon to try a player summon for this boss. Spoilers, there's a boss coming up. But I realized that I'm still offline from my Sen's Fortress debacle, which I recorded directly previous to this. So, yeah. Now we have 10 Estus flasks, and we are ready to go totally back to Firelink Shrine. Yep. And I'm just showing you here that this has a really strong magic defense, and that's awesome, because this game has a lot of magic casting enemies. Well, with the Undead Asylum pretty much cleared out, let's head back to Firelink Shrine. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yep, as if it's no surprise at all, there's actually a boss down here, and we gotta deal with him. If the Stray Demon looks familiar to you, it's because he's actually the same model as the Asylum Demon, the first boss that you fight in the game. Unfortunately, he is much, much more difficult than the initial boss. He has a lot of very powerful magic attacks, several beastly AoEs, and a very, very long reach. Now, the Stray Demon actually is one of the few bosses that gave me the most struggle on my last playthrough, so I'm not particularly excited about fighting him again, but let's we'll get it eventually. Of course, one of the worst parts about the boss fight is the fact that you actually take a bunch of damage from the fall, but you'll notice he doesn't actually automatically aggro when you pop in here. So you can actually get aside, snag a heal, and then pull him. Yeah, it's just not really recommended to fight this guy at range. He has a lot of range, and he can be particularly punishing with his barrage of attacks. And, of course, he'll knock you down. And then he just keeps swinging. The actual trick to the Asylum Demon, or the Stray Demon, is, in my opinion, just a slow and methodical process, and making sure that you never, ever are in front of this boss. Basically, what I'm going to be doing here is just staying behind him all the time, and letting him just do his AoEs, and then stabbing him in the butt. Dark Souls butt stabbing simulator. This is going to take a while, so let's speed it up. got him killed. This is running about 4 minutes or 5 minutes into the boss fight at this point. And you'll see it's just, you just gotta stay on him. Keep behind him. And eventually he will go down. And he drops the Titanite slab, which is the highest level Titanite item you can get in the game. Basically, slabs are what is required to upgrade your weapon to the final sort of upgrade power level. So, to get your base level item from plus 14 to plus 15 requires 1 slab. That also counts for divine and magic. You'll need like a white slab or something along those lines. Anyhow, it's a pretty powerful upgrade, really good if you're doing just a basic straight-up weapon, which is totally advisable for a lot of builds. And in addition to 20,000 souls and the sense of victory, we will now be done with the Undead Asylum for good. Once we clear the way. Yeah, the first time I explored this place, that floor drop really surprised me. I figured there would be some kind of a boss, knowing that that dude was down there hanging out, but I honestly did not see it coming. Well, with the Undead Asylum cleared and that peculiar doll picked up, we're now ready to head on over to the next level of the game. So, as always, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this somewhat short but eventful and demon-filled episode of Dark Souls. We'll see you next time on Let's Play Dark Souls.